Hey everyone, welcome back to this week's episode. So this week we've got Colyn and his CL 770 Charger.
Yep, and there's a nice surprise to this car that you'll see partway through the video. Can't wait to show you. G'day everyone, welcome to today's episode of Aussie Garage. Today we're here with Colyn, and Colyn has this amazing 1977 CL 770. Colyn, welcome to the channel, mate.
How you doing, mate?
Yeah, really good, thanks. So tell us a little bit about this beast. How long have you had it?
I bought it in about this time in 2013. A guy by the name of Roy, he probably had a guts full of it, and he was looking to cut his mortgage down or buy his wife a new car was the adage, and we'd seen it a couple of years previous. I said, geez, that's nice. And Andrea said, well, if it's ever for sale, you can get it. Well, 2 years later, it was for sale, so I got it.
How far through it was he when you purchased it?
It was in this sort of it was in this condition. Obviously, the paint was newer then. It was painted in 08. Basically, it's in the condition it is now.
Okay.
So it needed a little bit more assembling, but bugger all.
So what were the little pieces you had to finish off then?
Well, there were tech screws in places that shouldn't have been tech screws, and things that just, I brought it to the next level of what the car he intended. It was a beautiful thought. It was his thought and a Restomod, and together, I guess, we finished it, if you like.
Do you know the colour of this? I mean, obviously it's just a bright
It's
yellow.
It's actually a Mazda colour, and I only did it in 1 year, and this is called lightning yellow.
Very bright yellow.
Yeah, it stands out at you. It's not green, it's not yellow, but it's actually not lemon either. So of all of Chrysler colours they had, I think this one stands out the best for the car itself.
So is there any other things that body-wise that didn't come out factory with this one?
Most of the chrome's off it, for a starter. The badges are off it.
Well, you've got one really cool badge on the back.
Oh yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, the fucking edition. Yeah. Oh, lips are sealed. As a standard car, electric windows they never came out with. So it's got electric windows. I've changed the seats in it to something you can actually drive in it, like on track days. The old Chrysler seat a little bit haphazard. You're driving with your arm against the window, and that's not good for control of the car. I've changed the wheels on it. Used to have Boyd Coddington wheels on it, but they were hard to keep tidy and clean, and the process is if you don't polish them correctly with high speed, the pores open up on the aluminium, and a month later they pull the dirt back into them. Okay. So Show Wheels in Sydney made those with my specs on them, and yeah, been good so far, yeah.
So you're obviously a Chrysler man through and through.
Yeah, this is number 4 Charger for me. I've had most of the others, the RTs and the triple Webbed, and I've had Falcon GTs, and this, out of all the cars I've owned, this is my favourite.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it's only 30,000 Ks on it. The panels are absolutely straight. There's no plastibond, no bog in them anywhere. It might need a tidy up underneath, but I just drive it. I don't show pony it, even though it's got its own trailer. That's for mechanical reasons, which we don't have much anymore.
Yep.
I've had it fairly high in the rev range at Colyn Motorplex. With a new motor, I'd hope to put it at Wanneroo, put it around the track there.
Yeah, awesome.
Put it to its limit, you know what I mean. But it's 4-wheel disc, 9-inch. It's got plenty of stopping power, and now it has the horsepower to go with it. Well, not that it didn't have it before, but reliability, 50-year-old blocks with core shift and shit in them, and you just can't keep them reliable. And they're using gaskets. Well, these just have seals.
We'll have a chat about what's under the bonnet in a moment.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
No. Yeah. But so where did your passion for these old cars and Chryslers in particular, where did it all start for you?
Well, probably with my father. He had a yellow Charger and a yellow Cortina GT, which you don't see too many of. That was yellow also. So I got my licence in a yellow Charger, and all his friends had GDHOs and all that. So the passion and I was involved with speedway, sprint cars, and all that. Just a natural passion, I guess. Even at a young age, I was building motorbikes and karts and all sorts of things, whereas my brothers weren't interested, so
Yeah, fair
I had
enough.
to sort of figure it out myself, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, get life changes, and for a lot of years I didn't have one, so
Yep.
and I was always yearning, so it took me a long time to get back to where I am today. Yeah.
No. Well, it's awesome that you're back behind the wheel, but also in a yellow Charger.
Yeah, well, I think that its original colour was Impact Orange, but
Okay.
yellow seems to suit it, and it stands out, and
Yeah.
I'm happy with it anyway.
Oh, no, it's a beautiful car, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. But I think it's time we show the world what's under the bonnet of this thing.
Do we got it? It's the trade secret here.
Yeah.
It's got a
That's
patent
it.
on it.
That's the wow moment right there, isn't it?
It's the heartbeat, and being Chrysler, I'm very happy with it. Yeah.
Yep. So tell us exactly what we're running in here.
This is a 2024 American cast and built 6.4 litre Trackhawk Hemi, except the supercharger's not on it.
Okay.
And the reason it's not on there is because I'd have to put a hole in the bonnet, and trying to find a bonnet that suits it is too much hard work. So, but it's been on the dyno, and it pushes 548 at the rear wheel, so that's
Awesome.
plenty of power for a 1600 kilo car.
Definitely.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
The difference is in them, if you cast your eyes over to the monster, as I call it, the SRT, that's the Mexican sourced parts and everything inside. They make 100,000 of those a year, those engines, and they've had reliability issues in America. I've got the last of the good ones, 2020, but this is engine-wise, the block and Apache heads are all American sourced. So nothing Mexican that I know of that's in it. Mark Lappin, so you can see his name's on the rocket cover there. He's a fastidious guy, in my opinion, autistic or ADHD as far as these goes, like to gap the ring. The top ring was 1.5 hours per ring, and he's 8 of them, and that's a labour intensive exercise by hand. Everything inside it is Trackhawk, and the reliability is just through the roof, so I shouldn't have any issues with it. The only issue we've had in the last few weeks is the alternator, and that came from China. It only lasted 12 months, but at 220 amps, it's a big ask. So,
Yep.
But I have another genuine Mopar one on now, thanks to Mark Lappins. To give you a bit of history on MDS style Hemis, they had a lot of issues with lifters. Now that's the end result of a problem that Chrysler never saw. The problem is that these 6.4s had 5.7 litre valve springs on them, and they were too heavy, and the failing point was the lifter. So they rectified that over the years, and Mark was the warranty engine builder for Chrysler here in the West. Now they parted company, those guys, and he took over building Chrysler engines here in the West. His health was failing him a little bit, and I won't go into the details, but it took me 12 months to get the engine. I was quite prepared to wait, and now he's back on track. It's taken me 20 years to find a guy that knows and can talk about what he's doing, and actually back it up.
Yep.
So him and I and his son have now become good mates, and I had an old Jeep which his son purchased, and that's the sort of stuff we need, like.
You're saying that the guy you bought this off pretty much had it all together. Was the engine in it at that point, or was this something that you've put in it after you purchased it off him?
Now this is only last year's engine.
Okay.
I put it in with help of others. Harness Tech did all the wiring, so you can see there's very little wiring. It's all behind the dash. Holly Terminator injection, everything on top, the whole lot, O2 sensors. But I had troubles with 360 blocks. Now the first one was fairly well worked. It was originally, according to the original owner, out of a sprint car, so it had been detuned from methanol, and it was always a mongrel to start unless you had the technique to get it going. It stayed reliable for a number of years, then it started to lose oil pressure, blah blah blah, so we pulled it down. we flicked that engine to another bloke and transmission. So with that money, we built another stroker, 360 to 408 Hemi stroker, or Chrysler LA stroker. And that proved reliable for a little while, but then problems with headers, and it was a day to get one side out and half a day to get the other side out. Oil leaks, muck in the radiator because the amount of rubbish that goes into an old engine, even though I was running good coolant. We just couldn't keep it to what I call push the button and go like we can now. So yeah, we bit the bullet. I lost oil pressure at Pinjarra, and Andrea hooked the trailer up again, and we brought it home, and I said, bugger this, I'm going new. So with a bit of sourcing, we started from scratch, and here we are.
And was it out of a wreck or something like that?
No, not at all. No, every component in this engine is brand new.
Okay.
Brand new out of the packet.
So
out of the box.
So you bought the block in, bought the heads in, bought the...
Well, Mark Lappins bought it. He had, at that time, from memory, he had 10 blocks on the go, and he bought all the parts, and he buys all his stuff direct off Holly. All the engine components come direct from Hemi or Chrysler.
Yep.
And he's just one of those gurus that people want to talk to all the time.
Yeah. Other people in the car community is a great way to get information on who to go and see, and
not necessarily the right information, but you get a pain in the wallet to find out that, hang on, that's not right, But
unfortunately, that can happen. Yeah.
But I've done most of the work myself. The engine wasn't built by me, obviously, but everything else and all that. Jake from Chidlow, he's the Charger Club guru now. To all things, and he put it in on the hoist and all that, and his mate Shane Stewart helped along the way, but so.
What gearbox and diff have you got behind this one?
That's all still Chrysler, it's Torque Flight 727, my original gearbox. Being manualised, so it's forward manualised, so you just use it. If Andrea has to drive it, she can actually drive it. But what I like about them is we've tried all the trick parts in that gearbox, and they don't last any longer than a basic part. So that's the other thing that, when we can have it in and out a couple of hours, back in within half a day, ready to go again, It's Ford 9-inch, F-truck 9-inch, but shortened, 31 spline axles, 3.55 diff, probably about the right ratio. But the only other thing that may have to happen now is I change the torque converter to a lower ratio, so it gives it more torque lower down. But it'll drive like this for 20 years, so that's just a want, that's not a need. But at the minute, I'm enjoying it, the wife loves it, and that's more important than the car, I suppose.
So what kind of engineering did you have to involve to get it in there? Was it relatively straightforward, or did you have to do a bit of bits and pieces?
No, there's no engineering involved, because the car's already been licensed previous to a V8. Now, if you work out the formulas and all that, people tend to think, oh, it's too big for the car. The answer to that is no. I can actually go to 7 litre legally in this.
And the engine mounts and that sort of thing, there was a conversion kit that's for them, or is that something that had to be made up?
To suit the Hemi, the mounts are different. So Andrew Dunnett in Victoria makes them, and to your spec, and he's done over 60 of them now, so that's one of his K-frames, and it went straight in. So
perfect. Yeah. And did it need any sump modifications to go in, or a different sump on it or anything?
For it to fit into this A-body car, it's a Holly mid-sump, which they make. There was a couple of queries on whether I should put in a Millinen one or not, and when I looked at the Millinen one, I said, well, I've had those, they don't suit my requirements, and when Holly does everything for these, even the transmission brace and all that, everything is perfect. The other thing too was that because people also forget that the radiator is the heart or the blood of the whole system. So you haven't got that right, and you're having problems getting hot, you don't have it. That's a PWR race one, made to my spec in Queensland, and I haven't had any issues with it at all.
All right, well, let's go have a look inside the trim. Oh wow, these seats really do hold you in, don't they?
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Firm. You can take the headrest off too, so
it
looks more Monaro-ish, if you like, but I've never done it.
Oh, it's very comfortable in here, that's for sure. So you've got just a combination of old and new in here.
Yes, definitely. All the wiring's behind there. There's no glove box capsule anymore, so all the brains of it is all in behind there. The battery for this is in the boot to keep it out of the heat and to make them reliable, you know.
So how much trim work did you have to do in here? You've put the new seats in. Did you have the door trims and that sort of thing done, or was that all done?
No, they were done when I purchased the car.
Yep.
Yeah. Basically, it's all. I only probably tidied it up floor mat wise. It's got Ford BAGT electric window operators. So I've been told by the previous owner that the windows come from a 2010 Camaro because they're very similar and they're twice the thickness of a normal Valiant glass.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the other.
So they just have to reshape them slightly, do they? Or?
Well, they can't reshape them because, as such, that they're tempered.
So the windows are close enough that they fit into this car without
Yeah,
problems?
definitely. Yeah.
Wow, that's...
Yeah, and they're heavy. I can tell you that now. Yeah.
So in the dash there, are they all the original gauges on the dash?
Yes, they are the original.
So they've just had the faces painted up.
Yes. Well, they've actually been decaled.
Okay.
So and they were done in Perth.
And you haven't chopped into anything to put your gauges on, which I like.
No, I haven't. No. The stereo multimedia system was put in by a guy. He put it in, and 2 weeks later he passed away. So there's been a fair bit going on over the years with this car.
Now it sounds like a lot of people have had their hands on this thing, but the right people by the sound of it.
Yeah. It's finding them is probably the biggest issue, but they're there.
Yeah.
You just got to, you know.
Yeah, definitely. You've got to make a lot of phone calls, talk to a lot of people, don't you, sometimes, to get to the right
Well,
person.
you got to lose a few $100 notes to find them, you know.
Yeah. Yep. The back seat, it looks a little different to the front seat, so it wasn't trimmed to match these when you put
No,
these
but
in.
it will be in the future.
It will be.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. It'll probably go RT style
Yeah.
with the, you know, the bubbles in them and
Yep.
and just make it look fatter, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely.
Yeah.
You certainly need to get rid of that XR6 fabric out of there.
Don't have much option over that.
Yeah.
Not at the minute. There's other pressing things to do, you know what I mean?
No, of course. And the nice suede hood lining, so that's all been done.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was-
even got the Venetians on the back window, that's cool.
Yeah, the louvers, I've got a few of those. They're hard to come by, and we've gone to the step of 3D, and we just got to find a printer big enough to make them.
Yeah, okay.
And I think there's only one in Queensland, and the others are all overseas, Indonesia somewhere. So next time we go on a holiday, just got to remember to take the drive with me and see what can happen. I've lost a few too. I lost one out here a couple of years ago. Just the road trains go past and just get underneath them and pull them off. And I lost one on the Nullarbor at high speed. So I wasn't turning around to get it either.
Yep.
So
Fair enough.
yeah.
All right, well, let's jump out and have a look around the back. All right, mate, I always like the back end of a coupe, regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
You know, they've just got that sleek design about them, don't they?
Yeah.
And I really like your badge.
Yeah, it was a choice.
So obviously with the engine upgrade, that was the inspiration to put that badge on, was it?
Well, not really. Over the years, you just get that attitude, you know. And what's going on with people, and been to a lot of funerals this year, I just thought, fuck it.
Yep.
Let's just deal with it. Let's get on with it.
Yep.
Life's not a dress rehearsal. Let's move along. Let's do what we've got to do.
Yep.
Yeah. See things, do things, and that's what that's about.
Yeah. So it's a lot deeper than I thought, which so I'm glad I asked.
Yeah, it is. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I had to think about that actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you got your surge tank and fuel pumps.
Yeah,
in
that could come out of it if I wanted to, but then I'll have to drop the drop tank out of it to put a Holly pump in it, and that means more mucking around. It runs 2 pumps, 2 Bosch pumps,
Yep.
one in and one out, and we'll just leave it like that for now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just a want. Now that the 392's in it, you don't hear that so much, whereas before it was really noisy.
Yep.
So, and being Bosch, it's reliable. It's got inline filters. There's been never been anything in them. You know, when I put the engine in, I cleaned all the lines out. There was no rubber or anything out of the tank. It fills from this side of the car.
Okay.
And it feeds right through
But
into
you've got the
drop-
Bathurst style second.
Bathurst style, not just to even them up. Now
Yep.
that one's a dummy. They're just to even them up.
Yep.
So yeah. The other thing that happened was that they used to have grooves in here, and they've all been lead wiped over.
Yep.
there's no groove there at all now.
And lead used as well?
Lead was used, yes, it definitely was, yeah, just to tidy it up.
Now you mentioned you got a drop tank in this one. Is that
Yeah,
a factory
120
style
litres at
sort of
Holt.
So where was that one made?
Oh, I can't, it was made locally, Osman Park, I think. Oh, I didn't put it in, it was in the car when I got it.
Okay.
But it holds 120 litres, and also it brings the centre of gravity of the car down.
Yep.
Yeah, down to road level, which is where it's supposed to be, you know.
Well, I think there's probably only one thing left to do now.
Go for a ride, eh?
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
Let's go for a ride.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do
awesome.
that. Yeah.
It's got a lovely note to it, doesn't it?
Well, we hand built the headers in my backyard, see, so
Okay.
it's 5.5 days with a
Yeah, okay.
12-hour days to get them right. Guy that had them, Gary Harrison, started making them. He set up everyone wanted them, then he couldn't get someone to fabricate them. I said, well, that's no good, buddy. How about you send me the bits and we'll fabricate them here? He wasn't having any of that.
Yeah.
So the local guy here, Jackson Hawley, said, oh, well, I'll make them. I don't need his shit. So that's what we did. We bought all the bits and yeah.
Just went for it. Yeah.
Just went for it, yeah. They had a budget out of 20-odd million to develop the new Valiant as such, and they pulled about $3 million out of the budget. And these cars were designed and built in 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not very long, is it?
No.
The ink wouldn't be dry on the plans.
But I think it's that rawness about the car and the cars, Monaro, Tirana, the rawness that keeps people alive, because you actually have to think about what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm impressed with how smooth it is, I must say.
His road manners are brilliant.
Yeah. And the sound isn't offensive. Like, I mean, it sounds sounds great,
yeah.
but
Once you get over the bridge.
Yeah, okay. Lovely. It's like you say, you can just feel that torque underneath it all, can't you? You know, just, yeah.
Well, it's there, and it's better in your bum than anywhere else. An old speedway adage is if you haven't got poo in your undies, you're not going fast enough. And that's about right too.
Yeah. So I noticed you've got a couple little bees around the place.
Yeah, that's to go with the yellow of the car, or well, actually they're called humble bees.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the true name. Not Bumble was something different, but that's an American thing too. So.
So the way you talk, you obviously get this thing out a lot.
It was rude not to. I mean, so I didn't work away for 20 years to actually put it in the shed and admire it from the distance. I got it out. We don't stop with it. If it's going to rain, it rains. It goes in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's mint.
And even the young kids of today, 8, 9, 10 are going like this, hay charger. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Now this is playing up now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We haven't fixed its electrical problem.
Oh, bugger.
See how it wants to die?
Yep.
It's done it.
All right. Well, we've got a turnaround point there.
Yeah. Got it just in time. The alternator's charging.
So what does it do? It just.
It loses its voltage,
Yeah.
and I don't know why. They're still idling now. So I might have to back up and see if I can get it home.
Yeah.
Sorry Sorry about that, boys. There's nothing I can do.
No,
about
that's
that.
okay, mate. That's
I
okay.
thought I'd fix the issue.
All right, mate. So unfortunately, that didn't quite go to plan. Now,
No.
you did talk about earlier you had changed your alternator out and that sort of thing. You
Yeah.
are chasing an electrical gremlin.
Yes, definitely.
You thought you might have had it, but unfortunately,
Or don't have it, yeah. But that's the trouble with mechanics. It's either going or it's not, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And when
So-
you modify something, there's always going to be teething
Yeah,
problems.
but
and that
the
sort of thing.
modification isn't with the car. The only engine is the engine problem, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
fair
So
enough. Yep.
at least it's fixable. Just
Yep.
got to find it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
just
and
gotta find it.
And that can be the tough part, can't
That
it?
can be the tough part, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks for being honest with it about
Yeah.
that we're having dramas, because
Yeah.
most people would say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that." You
oh,
know what
well,
I
we
mean?
have
But-
to because
yeah,
it's real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So if I help someone, and if I find the result, that new alternator might not be any good either.
Yep.
You know, you only going on someone said it's okay, it's been tested, but it hasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So here we go again.
Yeah.
We've got, I got another one there, so have another go.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
that's it,
yeah.
mate.
So yeah, but thank you guys, and I hope this helps someone.
Yeah. No, that's it.
And,
If you find the solution, we'll certainly let people know. All right, Colin, mate. Thanks heaps for having us out today, mate, and showing us your amazing ride. This is a really awesome build. I love what you've done with it. Well done, mate. I reckon this is an awesome car.
Yeah, thank you, mate. It's a pleasure helping, and I hope this gives someone some information that maybe they want to head down this track or whatever. But you know, I'm available if someone wants to know something about it. You know, even though we had an electrical issue today, we'll find it and report back.
Yep. No worries at all.
Yeah.
Sweet as. Well, thanks heaps for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.